So, who wants to win a book? Come on, you want to win a book? Hands up. No? Come on. Yes, go on. Funky hair guy. Shoot.
Why did you decide to go for the route of marketing yourself with a mohawk instead of the normal suit and tie or Metallica t-shirt?
Good question. It's basically because when I came to Singapore, I pretty quickly realised it's very conservative here, so you want to stand out, you basically got to make a mark. So the mohawk kind of makes a mark, not just here, but everywhere I go. Sydney, Shanghai, Malaysia, Indonesia, Thailand, doesn't matter. So people know who I am. And also because I firmly believe that you should be yourself. So I believe that, you should be yourself. If you work for DBS, you can't be yourself. You basically have to come in at a certain time, go home at a certain time, wear a certain thing, you can't wear facial hair, you can't have funky hair, you can't have piercings. It's like you might as well put your personality in the door before you go in. But if you want to have a personality and you want to express your personality and be yourself, you have to basically either become an entrepreneur or actually go to an organisation like ours, for example, who basically says, I don't care basically what you look like, I care what you can do for my clients. And that's our philosophy. That's why we have Matthew. So it's all about people. It's all about, looking at the personality and look at what they can give to people rather than kind of what they actually look like. But your personal image, just like your personal image, is about your personal brand. How you communicate that communicates your confidence and the fact you can do someone's job. And actually you don't care what somebody else thinks. You basically believe in yourself, as you clearly do too. Good question. Anyway, next question. Do you want to do this? Next question. God, I've got some great books here. Worth $50 each. Person in the back. Carousel.
Hello, I'm Brian.
Hi, Brian.
I have a question about marketing oneself, because I understand Singapore is a very conservative society where we feel like, paiseh, we should hide this part of ourselves, or we should not express ourselves that much. Oh, thank you. So I would like to ask, how do we balance between marketing and being humble or being private about ourselves? How do you balance that?
It's a very, very good question. And it is about that quote about kind of be assertive, be yourself, don't be self-deprecating. And you can be self-deprecating, but be confident. So you've got to go out there and be confident, tell people what you've done. So when I was in London, I didn't have a mohawk, I used to wear a suit and a tie, for example, because everyone did that in London. But when I came over here, I realised pretty quickly that first of all, it's stupid to wear a suit and a tie in this heat. And secondly, if you want to make yourself stand out, and bear in mind, I didn't know a single person here, you have to be slightly different. So you have to have the confidence to actually do that, and that's not for everybody, but you actually have to take a step out of yourself and say, how do you enhance your personal career? How do you enhance your professional career? And that's about being different. It's not just about having a white shirt and black trousers as every single person in DBS has. You basically like cookie cutters. They only employ certain people who look a certain way. Whereas if you want to be express yourself more, then you should be an entrepreneur, which many of you can actually be, but also you have the confidence to put your own qualifications and your own awards, your own leadership out there as well, so you stand out. But it does take a lot of guts because Singapore is a conservative society, so you've got to have a bit of guts and say, fuck it, do it. And that's the thing you've got to do, just have confidence in yourself to fucking do it. Next question. Yes?
Thank you.
He's first. Go on. Next.
Hi.
Go on.
So I'm assuming you're a metalhead, because due to your Metallica t-shirt.
Well, I don't like James Blunt anyway, no.
Yeah, me too. So how do you exploit that metal community into, how do you exploit it? Just know how you started it out. Because usually when people see me as a metalhead, I will usually use my style into all my designs, and people will not like it because they think it's dark and satanic. so how do you exploit your style into how you sell it out?
It's a very good question. People basically, it's really interesting because on LinkedIn obviously share quite a lot about what we do, the tattoos for example, and I get a lot of people who say, I work in a very corporate environment, I would love to do what you do, but I can't. So basically people respect you for actually having the guts and the courage to be yourself. I get many people saying, well, I have a tattoo but I can't show it at work, or I have a mohawk at the weekends. And little things like that, I can't do this during the work, but I work for a conservative organisation or I work in a law firm or whatever. I admire Stephanie because Stephanie's very colourful. And she works in a law firm, which must be enormously difficult. You're a woman in a law firm in Singapore and you have an outgoing and vibrant personality, but you are the best lawyer in Singapore. And she wants everyone to let her know that, because she has to work, and she knows she has to work that much harder. Because, there's a reason why only 9% of directors in Singapore of the SGX are female, which is shocking, absolutely shocking, 9%. So Stephanie's up against the kind of conservative society of a kind of male-dominated boardroom. And she has to win those people over to actually get work. So she's expressing her personality by doing that. She's doing a wonderful job on LinkedIn. So that's why you have to do that yourself. And you have to work that much harder if you're female as well in Singapore if you want to be a director. You really do. But hopefully it'll change, but it won't change in the next 10 years or so. Basically, you've got to work harder. And LinkedIn's part of that. You get to know, and you're better on LinkedIn as a result of it, and your personal brand grows, and your connections grows, your credibility grows, then your status will go too. So fit your passion into what you do. So, if your passion comes through and you like metalhead, for example, designing that area, become a design agency entrepreneur. Do something that follows your passion. I did a post this morning about the guy who did my tattoos. Because every time I go there, I have to wait like a year to get in. And when I go there, it's packed. And I say, why don't you open up other branches? He says, because this isn't about making money, it's about a lifestyle. I like designing tattoos, and I don't want to own like 100 shops. I want to have enough money to base the nice lifestyle, and so do my partners, and that's it. So he's got passion, he's got purpose, and he's an entrepreneur, but he doesn't want to be a mega entrepreneur. And that's what you can do. If you don't have to make millions of dollars, you can actually just run it as a lifestyle because your passion will come through. So it's very personal. The question over here.
Okay, I realized your presentation slides got 3 logos. Why do you need 3 of them?
I actually got 5 logos. You might have been able to see the 5 logos. What's the thing? We got 5 logos. So Black Marketing I created 5 years ago. That does LinkedIn, that does social selling for entrepreneurs, SMEs. We have Dark Art of Marketing, which does PR. So that gets people book deals, it gets people on stage, it gets people newspaper columns, it gets people on TV, on radio, and it exploits it on LinkedIn. Social selling does events, conferences. Mohawk Marketing does TripAdvisor with LinkedIn, combines the two. And then Chris J. Mastery does masterclasses, which is a mini version of. So you have to have different brands to attract a different audience. So it's a bit like SPH has Business Times, Straits Times, and New Paper, all angling at a different target audience. So that's all. If you're going to become an entrepreneur, you have to know your market. All these anchor in LinkedIn. So they're all about LinkedIn, and they all convey my personality, my personal brand, but they're all about LinkedIn. So it's a very good question. Next. Yes, sorry.
I just want to ask a simple question. Of all the Asian countries, why do you choose to work in Singapore?
Very quickly, good question, because I came here 10 years ago, and I lived in London, and I hadn't seen the sun for 3 years. It was rained every day, drizzled. If anyone's in London, they'll talk about it. Was December. I looked out of my window and I couldn't see the sky because it was November. It was like dreary. Came to Singapore, it was Sunday, and the shops were open to midnight. I was like, wow, the shops are open to midnight. Because in London, they shut at 4 o'clock in the afternoon on a Sunday. Because of a stupid law. And basically, I just loved the way that everything was embracive here, everyone was very positive here. And for an entrepreneur, it's an amazing place to be because it's perfect location. Because I looked at Hong Kong as well, but actually Singapore's perfect because it hits both Southeast Asia and North Asia and Australia, and then obviously very easy to go to Europe as well. And Hong Kong doesn't really supply that, Sydney doesn't do that, Shanghai definitely doesn't do that either. So actually Singapore is an amazing place. Plus it's obviously English first, and I'm terrible at languages. I couldn't even do French at work, at school. I hated French, I hated German. So I'm very bad at language, and really in Hong Kong these days you have to know Mandarin, you have to know Cantonese. So Singapore is a fantastic place to go if you're kind of lazy on languages like I am, and if you want to become an entrepreneur. And also the Singapore government is amazing when it comes to supporting entrepreneurs. They give me grants for setting up, they give me grants to employ Singaporeans of a certain age, they give me grants to employ income parts, they give me grants to do innovation and so forth. So it's an amazing place to actually be an entrepreneur. I never got any of these grants when I was in London. The government in London just wanted to tax me. That's another reason why I come to Singapore. The tax rates here are phenomenal. But also, I love the weather. Unlike any Singaporean, I know Singaporeans hate the weather, but if you've been to London and lived in England for 25 years, you'd appreciate the weather because it doesn't sun and there's no heat there at all. They get one day a year, and that's it. And everyone celebrates and goes out and gets burned and then comes back the next day. But it's an amazing place to live because literally I'm an outdoors person. I cycle to work and I cycle back from work. So you can do that every day of the year here. You can't do that every day of the year in London because the whole icy wind comes in, it's dark and miserable, and you go to work in the dark, you come home in the dark and it's dark all day. So, you know, I'm not giving a very good visit London marketing campaign here. But Singapore is an amazing place to live. I mean, I've been there 10 years and I'm PR. And I just applied for my citizenship as well because I have no intention of going back to the disaster zone that is the UK at the moment, as they want to leave their nearest trading partner. Whereas Singapore, you know, they want to actually trade with other people. They're quite happy with trading with Iran and Israel, with America and China. They get the fact it's a global economy. So as much as you might, you know, different views about the government, actually they get the fact it's not about Singapore, it's about Asia Pacific, it's about the world. You know, PM Lee's just done a deal with the EU because he gets the fact you want to do deals with other people, do business. And Singapore's very business focused and very business friendly. Many other countries are not. It's a very good question. Next question. Right, back.
Just like to ask, how do you differentiate between personal branding, just personal branding and promoting your company? So it's like, if people follow people like on personal branding, so how do you actually promote your own company itself through LinkedIn?
So you basically do it through your personal brand. So it's a very good question because people get confused. People think that LinkedIn's about companies. It's not. It's about getting your personal brand and then using it like Richard Branson does to market the individual brands. So Richard Branson uses his 18 million followers to market all the Virgin brands because the Virgin brands, no one follows them. They feel empathy with someone. They feel a connection with someone. You know, people follow people. People get on with people. So it's all about connecting and using your personal branding to actually get out there. That's why Elon Musk gets away with everything. Because if you and I created Tesla and SpaceX and said what he does and did what he does, we wouldn't get away with it because it's his personal brand he does. So it's all about using your personal brand and your connections and your followers and your reputation to market your company. So ultimately people buy people. People would buy you if you set your own company. So it's a very good question.